How's everyone doing? I'm Cool Rabbit with another video from your friends at Coolclub. Hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to always stay cool.
Thanks for that intro, CB. So how's it going? I'm Super Solican, and we're going to discuss how to make a Justice League game in 2024 in light of the Suicide Squad debacle, in light of the dumpster fire that was the Suicide Squad game. Yes, in light of that, we're gonna use that as a blueprint it gave us a basis. It gave us a blueprint on how some characters can work. I'm gonna break down these things piece by piece. Me and Cool Rabbit, we're gonna sit here and break down how the characters that should be in the game in the Justice League, the level design, how these things should work. Because playing with Superman and designing his levels, they should be tailored around Superman. There's been Justice League games like this on handheld, and we've also seen this in RPG type games. They've had the Justice League, the different characters are sent the Justice League, they send out different people to go handle different missions. Like Batman may not be suited for a mission in space more so than Superman or Green Lantern. Whether Green Lantern may not be suited for something like a crime, a mob crime or something like that. He doesn't have that type of mindset. So that's how it works. So when we're creating the game should follow those type of rules. It shouldn't this type of game, the Justice League game shouldn't be, if it was gonna be 4 players, if it's a 4-player game, there should be 2 things going on at once. So one crisis going on over here that you're handling as one character, and you could communicate maybe, with your other teammates, but then you're on another whole another plane of existence and doing another mission or doing something else, and you should be able to swap between them. Like on maybe some missions, there's a threat level that's going to get to Earth, a threat level from space that's going to reach Earth. You could have people on the Earth, superheroes like Batman and Flash, doing things on the Earth, trying to prevent, any damage and save people. And then you can have Superman and Wonder Woman or Superman and Green Lantern in space, and they're stopping the threat in space. You could work that out. The Nintendo DS is good, is a good device for doing things like that. Splitting tasks up between 2 individuals. The latest Grand Theft Auto 5, that showed you how you can seamlessly switch between individual characters while they're all doing something. They're all constantly moving in the game. That's how the Justice League game should be. That should be the basis of the gameplay. I don't think it should be 4 players, 1 to 2 players. 1 to 2 players. 4, you're doing things. If it's a 4-player, it should be a specific game mode for that. It should be a specific game mode for 4 players. Maybe like where y'all all like how all those on the it was on a cartoon. It was a show. It was a movie. I think this was a movie where they had all the Doomsdays come out of a boom hole, like of that boom tube, the warp hole that the mother boxes make. They had all of the doom. What was the name of that movie, CB?
That would be Batman Superman Apocalypse, released in 2010.
Yes. So they had all of the Doomsdays come out of that wormhole, and they were able to fight them. So you could have something like that happen, and then have all the players, in a matchup, beat them up, open world, beat them up, whatever. You could come up with something in a 4-player mode where Superman is like a last resort character or something like that. You could really do it, but it has to be 4 players in the mode, because you don't want a bunch of overpowered people just running around the traversing around the city, just beating the crap. Like one Flash, one Batman is enough, but these threats, like, you have to heighten the threat level. So with this Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, they pretty much gave you like a blueprint on a story, or like a threat level. They gave you a blueprint on a threat level to how you would give you the need for the Justice League. They gave you the need for it, but by the time we played the game, the Justice League had already been taken over by Brainiac's mind control. So we never got to, we only saw the Flash as a good guy, and the Flash, that was enough to salivate everyone's chops and be like, and playing this boomerang to be like, why don't you make a Flash game? I just do not get that. But we're gonna start at I just gave you the gameplay. So the gameplay and the levels. First of all, let's start with the premise. First of all, the premise, you could take a big bad like Brainiac, like I said, and give us that premise. You have too many, like, not, but you have a lot of DC villains that can stand up to this, that can pose this type of threat. You have Darkseid, Brainiac. You have you could have Lex Luthor go in and basically manipulate, like how he was doing, pulling villains from different dimensions and things like that. You have to have a big bad, like a Thanos or Darkseid level character. Okay, you had Brainiac, just the way that the execution was just wrong. So you could go from that premise of the huge planetary threat level, because the Justice League, look at Green Lantern. Green Lantern is holding down sectors of the universe, not just Earth. Like, so there's big, huge villains that they can go against. Like DC has some real serious big villains. Like, they got a basically God level, like basically God, is it's a wall that's in space that houses all of like the very powerful superheroes and villains. Basically, it's like the wall of God where they get all their powers from. It's like a gold wall that in space. So they have a lot of big villains we could choose from. You need one of those. In the game, it should be 1 to 2 players, story mode, story driven, like very story driven gameplay. Not worried about a bunch of looter shooter, a bunch of numbers popping up. RPG style, of course, where you can upgrade as you go along, or you could just you could upgrade different abilities as you go along, and you can unlock different different missions and character, and different parts of the story like that. Because this game, though Suicide Squad called itself linear, it wasn't open world totally. They had barriers and stuff that it was confined within missions. So you can do something. You don't even have to put barriers. You could confine them within the area that they're working, or within the area that the mission. Say that one of Batman's missions, right? Like one of the players you're playing is Batman. The second player you're playing as is Green Arrow. One of Batman's missions is to stop a bomb that's gonna explode in Gotham or whatever, or Metropolis. Stop a bomb that's going to explode in one of the cities. And then you can switch to Green, because he has that type of knowledge. Then you can switch to Green Arrow as and he's in another part of Metropolis, or he's in another part of the world, or he's in a facility that manufactures the bombs or whatever, and he needs to go get some type of code or whatnot. He can traverse all around the factory, but that's the part where that's where his level is, and that's where it ends. It could be huge. Look how Hitman is. Look how the game Hitman is. You can't hop in a plane and go to New York to LA, like, in just a linear fashion. No, but when you do get to those areas of your mission, you can do whatever you need to do in that area, in that level that they give you. Still great games. Okay? Still makes a great game. So that should be the blueprint of the gameplay and the premise. You need the big bad, and you should have 1 to 2 players doing different missions in different points, and all story driven. The traversal and all of that, like, let's start with the gameplay here. The gameplay, I'm gonna break the gameplay down by character. Harley Quinn was in the in the Suicide Squad using that bat drone. We already know, like we saw Batman being in one of these games, that's like a no-brainer. Like Batman, like you don't even need to do much tweaking on how to know how to put him into the world, because all of the Arkham games, perfect. All of those things were perfect pieces of of the Batman continuity. It showed you actually were the Batman in those games. You know, whether the flight, stalking, all of the movements you made. So you don't need, and you had the Batman Arkham Knights. So now you know how to put other characters into the in different types of traversal styles into the game. So you don't, Batman being in there, how he plays, that's pretty self-explanatory. They can give him more explosive moves, like, you know, explode more, like the just like more high-powered gadgets and things, high-powered tech suits and stuff that he could put on and stuff as he progresses. As he levels up, he should be able to get more high-powered tech and high-powered suit to be able to compete and fight against these meta-humans and stuff. That would be an awesome thing, right? Okay. So replace Harley with Batman. You could have easily done that. Boomerang, the character of Boomerang, the one good thing that he did is he showed you how you could apply Flash gameplay. Okay, you could take the blueprint from Boomerang's character. What he would do was he got the Speed Force gauntlet, so he could throw the boomerang at a point and then speed to that point that he threw the boomerang at. That's easily done for the Flash. Instead of throwing a boomerang, have him have a reticle build up. You know, have a reticle that you put in an area or a place, and then charge it up, let go of the button, and have him run to it. Boom. But it takes time because you have to charge him up, and he needs that reticle, and it also drains his energy. If you look at the Flash continuity, his metabolism is fast. So yes, he's powerful, but his energy is drained. So he needs these characters need super meters. Like I said, with Batman, you shouldn't just be able to spam batarangs. He don't have an unlimited supply. So you need a super meter. That's that goes back to the gameplay and the premises and the structure of the gameplay. You need a super meter. You know, like a meter that like I said, for Flash, when he's running and doing his thing, the meter needs to burn down. Now he's still a metahuman, so in his regular moves, he can punch fast, he can go up and punch, but he's not as powerful, like as powerful hard hitting as Superman or even Batman. He's not good at up close combat as Batman. But he should still be able to do his regular punches. You know, give him some other super move like the tornado. His smile tornado whirlwind that he could punch up. He should be able to phase through objects if the need be, but it takes a big part of his super meter, and that super meter builds up slowly unless he, you know, eats or gets like a power up to replenish that. Because, and you can, as time progresses, maybe that meter can come down slower, or build up, or he can go down less and build up faster as his Flash progresses. Because that's what happened in real life. The continuity of the Flash, he learned his powers. He didn't just pop up and was able to phase through matter. He didn't just pop up in the beginning and was able to run backwards through time and stuff. No, you have to nerf that. Like all of that gets nerfed. Like breaking the speed barrier, time barrier, that's nerfed. That's done. Like he learns. Flash is learning, and to do that, like it should take like a super toll on him, nearly killing him, to be able to go back in time and changing time. And we saw from the Flash movie that doesn't even work. You get in that paradox anyway. You create that event where like it's an event in time that's if it was going to happen, it's meant to happen, it's going to happen anyway. No matter how you try to change it, it's gonna eventually happen. It's gonna play out. So for nerf him, like don't give him, of course he's not gonna be doing that into the Speed Force, but you can like even on some of his moves use the reticle to like target home, to like how Sonic did. Sonic the Hedgehog, yes, the blue little hedgehog has given you Flash game blueprint. His homing attack, when you can have Flash like slow down time. Time slows for the player character, like in bullet time, and he can hold that power button, pinpoint this enemy, pinpoint that enemy, an enemy over here, endpoint enemy over here, an enemy over here. And when he lets go of the button, he's zooming all the way over, boom, 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 and causing damage to each one of them. It may not be, super damage, because like I said, Flash is not the strongest of characters physically. But it's especially when it comes to fighting other meta humans. But that should deal damage to multiple targets. You should be able to strategically use these characters. With the Flash, you have to strategically use your speed to take out the enemies. That should be something that's why you switch between these characters. They should give you reason for it, and they should play totally different. Each and every one of them, like unlike in the Suicide Squad game, where these characters was only different in name only. But the King Shark, his traversal through the level was different, and he kind of felt like playing as the Hulk, but really you didn't. The combat sucks. Like the close combat is not good and fluid, and it's like Arkham Knight, something like the Arkham Knight games, and really you're just resorting to shooting everything. So these characters, once it all boils down to just shoot everybody, shoot it till it stop moving, they all play the same. But you should have to use these characters strategically. Strategically use the Flash speed to take out his enemies. He should also have like one of those in the Matrix video game where Neo could dodge the bullets. You just push a button and that should happen like that. Like when somebody's firing that Flash, if he pushes it at the right moment or you tap square at the right moment, he should just automatically phase it. Like it should automatically go through him. Like he just dodged it that quick. Boom, 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 boom. It should be like that. And you could be able to just keep tapping square. Once you dodge one bullet and you catch it on the right time and dodge one bullet, if you stay in that same spot, you should be able to just tap square and just have him just doing a Neo Matrix. Just bullets just going through. Zoom, 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 zoom. And as long as he catches at the right time and he's still, he should be able to keep that going. Kind of like the lightsaber parries with that happens in the Star Wars games. When you parry with you push it at the right time, you parry with the lightsaber parry. And a lot of times, like if you just once you get the hang of it, like the blaster fire, that's really nothing to the Jedi. And that's how bullets should be to the Flash. Yes, they get used, and he could be hit, but for the most part, like they're useless against him. How the blaster fire is useless against the Jedi. You need something else up close and hands on. So that would pretty much sum up the Flash, and then you can have a sequence in the video game where he has to, like do something, run super fast or, and you could put like a quick time event or something like that. You can have a sequence of that. Now that next we can go ahead. I pretty much covered two because Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn is giving no new insight on how to play as Batman. Her traversal with the drone is actually, some of it was tedious. Like she's just swinging on the thing. Like no, Batman will actually know how to use it. You understand? He'll know, it won't be his first time, so he'll know how to use all the tech, and things like that. So you got Batman should be in the game. The Flash, then takes us to Green Lantern. This was a cool Green Lantern in the game up until the point, for the first 30 minutes, first 45 minutes. And after that, he just became douchebag and douche-wangler number 2. It was lame the way that they killed him. Yellow Lantern bullets to break his will, basic in his constructs, basically shoot him. Man, bullets are obsolete against these heroes. Like this is something like we've seen them take on like laser beam, like bullets just don't cut it. But so his gameplay, we have an example of that from the terrible Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern that was released. From the movie, based on the movie, they had a game. Now that video game, even though it sucked, just like for the most part, like the film, it still showed you. So it has some good aspects to show you how you can play as a Green Lantern. The combat should be pretty much easily all there. You also play, have played Injustice. So you have the combat is pretty much down pat. I shouldn't even have to explain how that will work. Now the flight and the traversal, that he's not super fast, so you can make they had that he play in Lego Batman. Lego Batman is a good example of Green Lantern gameplay. Yeah, I know that it's a Lego game, and you made those games were actually pretty darn good. They were pretty darn good Batman games. So that you have the blue, it's not hard to do Green Lantern. He could be one of the base street level he could be the base street level character, and he could go on the space missions because he can fly, make constructs. You could do quick times with the constructs, flight missions, that require strategy and things like that. And you fighting different enemies in flight mode, things like that. You could definitely do it. That game, that's already a big a big portion of gameplay, like that's a level right there. I just gave you an idea. So next we can have Wonder Woman. I love the way that they made her look strong. She looked strong in that game. She was like the only one who you could really see. Like she basically came. It was a scene where she basically came into the Suicide Squad, where she was in the Hall of Justice, and they all tried to attack her, and she just basically smacked them down like little ants. That's how she would do. So she also was able to jump, like how King Shark can traverse like that. She's not as powerful as Superman. Like, Wonder Woman, I would think should have like a sustained like a flight, kind of like a short sustained flight. She shouldn't just be able to fly around like Superman, more like a traversal like how King Shark could. She should also have different speeds she could traverse on the ground, and when she's jumping around, on the ground she should have walk, jog, run speed. And the run speed, that should be the like of the Hulk. If you've played any video games, any open world video games of the Hulk, you would see how she should move. Like, he's not fast like the Flash, but he's definitely faster than the average human. So she should have a superhuman run speed that you could turn on, or she can walk. Same with Superman. Different levels to the speed. And the same with the Flash. But the Flash should just naturally move faster than them all. So you could tweak that, but they power should be dialed back a bit for this type of game. Like, and it's levels to that, because Superman's not all. It's times where his powers are dialed back. So I mean, he's not trying to kill people, So we definitely have that. And so, in doing that, he takes damage. Like, Superman can take, you've seen him in shows take damage and be put down a little bit, but he always ends up powering out of it. And Kryptonite is the only thing that really puts Superman down. But back to Wonder Woman, she shouldn't be, like I said, be as fast as the Flash, of course, but have a speed that she could go and run in that's faster than the average human. Jump high like the Hulk. For example, King Shark gave you example of how she should move, and then short burst of flight. As far as her strength should be like the Hulk. You've played any open world Hulk game. Wonder Woman is strong. That's just what it is. She basically has superhuman, like Hulk level strength. I don't know why people try to weaken, play Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is actually one of my favorite superheroes. Wonder Woman is pretty dope, and again, she shouldn't have unlimited flight. No, we don't. She's weaker than Superman, but not as but strong like the Hulk. I mean, it is what it is. So there you have it. Those are 4 characters that you can easily put into the game. At this point, you could do that. Now that brings me to as far as Superman, you should have Superman for specific missions. Have him do specific missions that calls for him, and And when he's away, like I said, he should be away being preoccupied with the big bass, the super big bass, while you could switch between them and the ground level heroes in some type of crisis against the earth or the earth. It's an overall crisis for the earth, but you should be able to switch between them and then go through different missions. They can go through a timeline of missions. It could be two, it could be more than one. Like I said, it's definitely gonna have to be more than one villain. They're gonna have to give you the bigger bad, they're gonna have to give you the super big bads, the big bads, and the ground, the baddies, and then the ground level bads. You're gonna have them, everybody's gonna be affected, and that's how you can utilize these different characters. They all in a different sector. So, and again, there's others. You have others in the Justice League that I can name, but those are basically the five that that we know of, the five mains. And then there's also I just kind of wanted to keep it in the number of this Suicide Squad. But anyway, you tell me which characters that you would like to see, and which characters that you think could actually be pulled off. And I would like for you to go a little bit in, telling me like how they gameplay would go, how they would play. Because I know you got people like Aquaman. Aquaman is actually one of them. But his gameplay would definitely have to be scenario based. Like, again, like it should be like he should be like Superman, or he could be on the ground level, but he's not gonna. Let's be honest, Aquaman's in real continuity, he's not that effective like on ground level. Not if he's not around the water. He can't even manipulate the water like how, like with the water kinesis. But anyway, I don't want to go into a rant on that. So Aquaman, he again, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter. You tell me who you'd rather see. So with that being said, this is the Cool Club. I'm Solomon, and here is C Rabbit. I'm gone.